Good day. Welcome back to the Vitality Project. I'm Dr. Bob. Yesterday, we investigated how it is that we can stay on top of variations in our moods as long as we keep a close eye on them. For example, increases in depression, which is what I shared with you yesterday, or anxiety. If you think about it, anxiety is a direct function most often of elevations in our stress levels. And so let's discuss the difference between some of these moods. Specifically, let's look at the difference between stress and anxiety today and what we can do to reduce both of them. Most simply defined, stress represents our body's response to what we perceive to be a threat. Let me give you a good example. Right now, the coronavirus pandemic threatens the entire planet. Every single person is at risk of being infected and even possibly dying. There's every reason to be stressed by these current circumstances. So that's stress. Anxiety relates to our narrative inside. That is the story that we tell ourselves about any outside threat. So how might this go for you or someone you know right now with the virus pandemic and quarantine conditions? Something like this. With the virus now undeniable and my currently being laid off from my work, chances are I'll never get another job. There's no doubt that I'll end up penniless and destitute. And you know what? I'll probably die alone. Now that represents the story that goes with the undeniable external threat, namely the virus and all the risks involved there. But now there's a narrative added to that. So what I've given you here is an example where I've amped this up to give us something to work with. But I think you and I both know, if you reflect on your own experience honestly, that once this anxious rumination, once this anxious cycle begins, it can move from 0 to 60 in 2 seconds flat. I looked up yesterday fast cars, and it turns out that that's faster than any Lamborghini or turbo-powered Porsche on the road. 0 to 60 in 2 seconds flat. So I want us to slow down that car. And I want you to do that by following the homework assignment for today, which is I want you to observe your thoughts over the next 24-hour period. And notice, do you move from stress, which is the external threat that we're all facing, to anxiety, which are the internal stories? I want you to simply make a careful note of that today. And what we'll be doing tomorrow and these next days is coming up with effective interventions to help us when we get derailed by anxious thoughts. There's enough stress to go around for everybody right now, but let's not make it worse, okay? In fact, way worse by heaping a ton of anxious ruminations on top of it. Hang in there today. Stay safe. Be well. Thanks for joining me. I'll see you tomorrow here at the Vitality Project.